we're starting to talk a lot about multifamily. Kind of our conversations kind of flowed in this direction, and obviously you started with single family, but you did kind of scale then into multifamily. Tell me, let's take a step back and tell me about that journey. How did you get into multifamily, and what led you to even want to get into multifamily?
So it was a quote unquote luck, I guess, when I think it was an insurance agent just
You're gonna
mentioned he knew I
you're
was
gonna make me
a
think. I'm sorry. You're gonna make me think you're the luckiest guy on the earth.
sometimes it better be lucky than good. But let's see, my insurance agent he knew I was a real estate investor, and he mentioned, hey, I know of this property. It's a 14 unit up at um, a university in northern Indiana, where I'm located. And I said, all right, well, I'll take a look at it. It was a 14 unit. Prior to that, I I just had residential, single. I don't even know if any duplexes at that point. But he said I should look at it, so I did, and I took a contractor with me, and we both walked out of the tour, and contractor said, "You have to buy this," and I said, "I have to buy this. Will you help me fix it up?" And so that's how that came about, a 14 unit, and then the listing broker that deal. Once I closed that one, he said, "Hey, I've got another one in Indianapolis, which is where I actually live. Do you want to take a look at it?" And that's when I looked at that, it was an older building. I forget what maybe built in the 1920s or 1930s. Kind of same thing. I looked at it and said, "I have to buy this. This is super cool." And that was the first property. That was a $1 million property, and that was a big hurdle mentally for me to get over. Like, that was definitely the biggest that I had ever thought about doing. But I was able to do some creative financing with that one, and was able to purchase that as well. And then, I guess, just to continue the journey, 2 years later, another broker who happened to live across the road reached out to me just as a cold call and said, "Hey, would you be interested in selling this?" And I said no about 14 times, but every time he asked, I said no, but here's the information you just asked me for. Here's the financials, or here's the rent roll, that kind of thing. So eventually my no turned into, well, maybe let's talk. And so anyways, I ended up working with him, and I did sell it. And then I worked with that broker to purchase the office building that you referenced as well. I did a 1031 exchange into the office building that I still have now. It's been 5 or 6 years that I've had that, and it's been a really good property. So that's how those journeys kind of transpired.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And for those of you listening, 1031 exchange is another tool available to investors who can sell a property and then using the gains from that sale, invest in another similar or like property, and in that way they can defer the any tax on the gains, and they just kind of kick the tax bill down the road, and they can continue doing that over a period of time. Another powerful tool available to real estate investors. Another reason why we love real estate is because there's different ways to defer taxes and or decrease the amount of tax that you owe, and this is just another one of those tools.